What's happening, people? It's your girl Mina. Welcome back to the channel. You already know what it is. Big up to everyone locked in. Sunday football's come to an end. I think Arsenal Liverpool finished at 2-2. But the biggest topic of discussion is, of course, Manchester United drop points again. This time to West Ham. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know how to feel at this point because today I watched that first half of football and I was absolutely embarrassed with the players. But equally so, I saw in the second half, Lupitegu, I think that's how you pronounce his name, West Ham manager, makes changes to completely nullify any sort of impact that Manchester United had. And that changed the game on its head completely. Big up to everyone. Be sure to hit the like button and be sure to subscribe. We're going to talk about that penalty because I don't know. I watched it back quite a few times. I don't know if that's a penalty, guys. I don't think that's a penalty. But one of my friends seems to think it is, and we've been going back and forth about that. But also, I think it's more so to do with the level of officiating in the Premier League. For a league that claims to be the best league in Europe or the best league in the world, they've got some substandard level of officiating, and it's clear as day, in my opinion. But we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Eric Ten Hag's changes. Sorry, not charges. We're going to talk about Eric Ten Hag's changes in the game, and essentially where does this leave Man United, because it leaves them 14th place in the league, and I don't know how that's acceptable. Personally, guys, I do not know how that is acceptable to be 14th place after what, 9 games? I think it is. I think it's 9 games. How is that acceptable? Let me just 7 games. Why do I have what 9 games? Yeah, 9 games. And we're 14th. And that's like out of a possible 27-ish points. United's on 11. That is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. But be sure to get involved in the chat, guys. Be sure to hit the like button out. Mina, are you Ten Hag out yet? I've been Ten Hag out. Why do people always ask me that? It's just because I don't sit here saying, get him out. But I want him to leave. I've always said it. I think this season has shown that, he's taken United as far as he possibly can, and his tactics and his style of play doesn't work for Manchester United. So let me just be clear on that. He can't make them score goals. United missed all the golden chances. You see, this is the thing, right? I agree. Eric Ten Hag cannot physically come on the pitch and put the ball in the back of the net. But why do people act like it has to be one or the other? Why can't it be both? Why can't it be the manager's not good enough and the players need to take their chances? Because I said today, I basically tweeted something and someone was like to me, it's not on the manager. I never said it's not, but equally so, I'm not saying right now this game is on the manager, but that doesn't change the circumstances of all the other games. It's ridiculous. West Ham lost to Chelsea, Liverpool, City, Tottenham, but as soon as Man United pull up, and you know what's the crazy thing is that it's not even just when Man United pull up, guys. Man United have not been good for 90 minutes except for against Barnsley. Are you telling me that's our level? Barnsley is not Manchester. It shouldn't be Manchester United's level. So why is it we should be okay with dominating the first half? It means nothing if you dominate. If you don't put the goals in the flipping back of the net, if you don't put the ball in the back of the net, it means nothing to dominate play. That really means it really means nothing. I almost gave up watching football because of Hollywood VAR behavior of players. I hear it. MUFC says I think he gets sacked after a Chelsea loss. JJ says I don't know how much more of this I can take. I don't know how much more I can take of this, by the way. I don't know. Guys, it's actually a form of torture watching Manchester United every 3 days. Is genuinely a form of torture. And the worst thing is, right, we're going to talk about it, of course. We're going to talk about the VAR. We're going to talk about all of that. But guys, how does Diogo Dalot get away with giving away goals so much? I don't get it. I really don't understand how Diogo, forget the chance that he missed on the other side, yeah, because that is, that is a joke in itself. Open goal, guys. I don't know if you lot realized, open goal, and the ball bounces. Instead of side footing it, he tried to volley it. I don't know how to describe it, but he tried to lace it. He tried to lace it from there. It's actually 7 wins in the last 23 in the league, Mina. That's bad. That is really, really bad. I mean, I don't even know how many games we've won in the league. 3. We've won 3. We've got a negative record, by the way. We got a negative record. We've lost more games than we've won in the league so far. And this is what I don't understand. It's only nine games. It's only 9 games, right? But that's 9 games too much. That is 9 games too much. I don't want to hear, judge the manager after 15, judge the manager after 10. 9 games is enough to see that this is not working. This is not going to change. I don't know how people can feel optimistic enough that things will change come November or December. You lot saw the run of games United got in December. If anything, I think it's going to get worse. I actually think it's going to get worse. Chalaboy says, I'm broken. This was so painful. You know what, guys? Let's actually get into it. Let's actually start with the topic of discussion. And you know what? No better way to start than with Diogo Dalot. I was going to start with him anyways. But let's start on Diogo Dalot. Well, why is my thing bugging out? Damn, did I really just... Oh, yeah, this is where it's bugging out. There you go. Let's start with Diogo Dalot, guys, because he had moments that could have completely changed the game in multiple ways. Let's start with the goal. That they went up with from Somerville. A nice little counter for them. But what shocked me the most, right, and this is why I'm singling out Diogo Dalot in this instance, is because Diogo Dalot has a look over his shoulder. He sees Somerville about I'd say 5 or 6 steps away from him, and he doesn't even track him. Somerville makes a run behind him. He does not even track him, guys. I wish I could show you lot the clip, but I don't want my channel to get demonetized. I wish I could show you lot the clip, but I'm pretty sure you lot all saw it in 4K as much as I did. He looked dead at Somerville this way, and then went back to watching the ball and didn't even pay attention to Somerville running in behind. And for me, that's just amateur. That's just so amateur. Like, I can single him out as well for that chance in front of goal, but I'm going to give him the slightest bit of leeway because he's not a forward. He's not a Garnacho. He's not a Hojlund. He's not a Rashford. He's not an Ahmad. You know, them chances. He gets a lot of chances in front of goal, by the way, this season. Can I just say? He gets a lot of chances this season in front of goal because Erik ten Hag is playing Marcus Rashford as a flipping wing back. He's playing him as a wing back, and Diogo Dalot tends to be the most advanced person on the right hand side. Cash money. He did everything right just for that chance in front of goal. Puts it over the keeper. I don't know why he laced it until today. I don't know, and I just feel like everybody looks past that because that goal could have changed a lot of stuff for Manchester United. A bit of confidence would have been instilled in the team, and they might have started to actually put away the chances that they get in front of goal. Now, I saw a stat that said Manchester United miss 85% of their big chances. That is crazy. That is ridiculous. It doesn't matter if you're a forward, you're a professional footballer. I would have scored that. I think I would have scored that as well. I think I would have scored that. Talk about Garnacho and Hojlund, Mina. Don't worry, we're going to get to that. Dalot shows signs of mental weakness after a run of games for the past 2 seasons. If man says he did this in UCL last season, Mina, and everyone just piled on Onana exclusively. I can think of this season 3 goals that United have conceded with Dalot just losing his runner. He just loses his runner. And the thing is, for me, that's not acceptable because when it was Aaron Wan-Bissaka, criticism would have been had. If that was Nazir Mazraoui, there would have been heaps of criticism. And I don't even want to hear that Diogo Dalot was playing on his weaker side. Because when we talk about Diogo Dalot playing on the left, people always say, oh, he's playing on his weaker side. I don't even like him at right back, guys. I'm going to be dead honest with you guys. I don't like him at right back because I've seen Mazraoui play there this season, and I think Mazraoui is better than him at right back. So I would have preferred Diogo Dalot at left back. But it looks like Erik ten Hag is trying to partner Diogo Dalot with Marcus Rashford on the right-hand side. And I just don't get it. If Dalot scores his chance, we're sitting at 8th place, 3 points behind Chelsea. Let's not worry about being 3 points off this team and 4 points off this team. Like, let's not worry about that because right now United got bigger problems, guys. United have bigger problems. They are 14th in the league. And listen to this. Leicester City and Everton are less than 3 points behind them. So let's not worry about, oh, if we do this, then we'd be 4 points off these people, or we'd be 5 points off the... Let's not do that. Let's focus on the problem at home. I've backed Dalot for a long time, but it feels like sabotage. I can't really explain it. We're sneaking into the relegation zone. How far are we off the relegation? Let's see. United are 14th with 11 points, and relegation is 4 points. We are closer to relegation than we are. We're closer to relegation than we are to top 4. Hold on. 7 points. No, it's the same. Top 4. Villa are on 18 points. Ipswich are 18th on 4 points. Oh my God, we're 7 points off relegation and 7 points off top 4, which isn't too bad if you look at it, but it's too many if, buts, and maybes. So I'm not going to get caught up in that. I'm not really going to get caught up in that. Dalot playing right wing while Rashford is playing right wing back. Ten Hag is on crack. I don't know what that Erik ten Hag is on. I said it in my post-match review. I don't know why he thinks playing Marcus Rashford at right wing back is like Marcus Rashford was near enough. I think he was like the furthest player back at one point on the right hand side, guys. He was actually one of the furthest players back at one point, which I just don't understand why. Let me bring up Garnacho because let's have a conversation. I really want to have a conversation about Alejandro Garnacho because someone just said in the chat as well that Mina's not going to talk about him. If you follow me on Twitter, you'll stay seeing me talking about Garnacho to a point where Garnacho stands are saying to me that I'm a Rashford stan. That's how bad it is. But let's talk about Erik ten Hag. And I don't know, can we call it favoritism? Is it favoritism for Alejandro Garnacho? Because for me, Alejandro Garnacho should not have played 2 90s in a row. Alejandro Garnacho should not have played 2 90s in a row. He should have been hooked midweek, and he should have been hooked again. Now, if these chances that fall to Garnacho, now, albeit that he's more raw than Marcus Rashford, so there's a bit more leeway for him. But if those chances fell to Rashford, and Rashford was being quite greedy in these instances, taking shots when he shouldn't, he would be cooked. He would be cooked. And my biggest criticism for Erik ten Hag when it comes to Garnacho, why do you keep saying his full name? I don't know. It's habit, innit? My biggest criticism when it comes to Garnacho is regarding Erik ten Hag. It's not really regarding him. For me, it's about the fact that Erik ten Hag is happy to play other players out of position to accommodate for Garnacho. It's as simple as that. And for me, Garnacho is not a player that you should be accommodating at this point. I don't think he's a player you should be accommodating at this point. Since he started off the season quite well, and that was mainly because he was coming off the bench. And I've said this, Garnacho as an impact sub, it always works. It's cash money. But necessarily, if he's starting game in, game out, it takes about 3, 4, 5 games before he starts to have an impact. And it's like he'll have impact in one game, and then it'll be a couple of more games, and then he'll have an impact again as a starter. And that's not good enough. If you're going to start all the time for Manchester United, you need to be consistent. And of course, the only way you can build consistency is consistently playing. But if you're consistently shit, then you should be consistently on the bench. Consistency. That's the most important thing. Consistency. That is what I'm struggling with. Because even players like Manuel Ugarte, and some of you guys might not like Manuel Ugarte, but look at a player like Manuel Ugarte. Had a great performance midweek. Benched on the weekend. Doesn't even sniff a minute. He doesn't even get a minute. Me and Ugarte played the same number of minutes today. And for me, it's again, question mark. Is that not favoritism? Is that not favoritism? And that's not me saying Casemiro should be benched, because I actually think Casemiro was good today. I think without Casemiro, it could have been a different result, especially because he got the goal. But I'm looking at a game in the second half where Manchester United are being physically battled in the midfield. And why wouldn't you want to advance Casemiro a bit more and let Ugarte be the sitting player? That's what I don't understand. Big up to Leo with the super chat. I appreciate it, man, Leo. Thank you so much. There's can't poke too much fun because we got battered by our biggest rivals. But whatever Erik ten Hag said at the half must have been the worst halftime speech ever. Mentality is in the sewer throughout your squad. I'm guessing Leo's a Real Madrid fan. If he's saying we got battered by our biggest rivals, then you must be a Real Madrid fan who got battered yesterday. I don't even know what's said in the dressing room at halftime. Sometimes I think they sit there in silence for 15 minutes, guys. I think they sit there in silence and nobody talks. Because the way that they come out after a half, if you look at the two halves today, for a team that dominated the first half, they came out in the second half like nothing. Like, I don't know what it is. They came out like they were there for a kickabout. And it's only really when they went down is like they realized, oh shit. But equally saying that, I don't think it's solely on United the reason why the second half went in the manner in which it did. West Ham's manager got the substitution spot on. He got the substitute. What did he do? He brought on Somerville. Yeah, he brought on Somerville and gave him a free rein. You got Bowen and Somerville running in behind non-stop, running at players, and you've got Mikel Antonio at points, even before he got taken off. But Antonio at points was dropping deep. He was in a physical battle with Dalot, dragging Dalot out wide. Why? Because Diogo Dalot will vacate the right-hand space because he's playing as a right winger. And Antonio would be able to drop in there. I actually think we're blaming a lot on Manchester United. But you have to look at the changes that was made at second half. Somerville is what you call a player who came on and changed the game. Manchester United substitutions, we're going to get to it because Ahmad I think he obviously had a goal involvement, and so did Joshua Zirkzee. They linked up well for that. But I also think that goal came from chaotic ball. Like, you guys can't say that goal that Casemiro scored was like a well thought out goal. It was just a ball in, a ping pong, header, bam, into the back of the net. But Ahmad was the one that created that ball into the box, and Joshua Zirkzee was the one that headed it. I actually think he went for goal, and that's it. I think he went for goal, and it just so happened to land to Casemiro. But Manchester United subs didn't impact the game in the way that Somerville did. Somerville completely changed the game for West Ham. Momentum totally shifted. It totally shifted. Somerville is a baller. Ali says, Mina, Man United needs all transformation. Owners, managers, new players. It's shameful Manchester United seen like this. And I'm a Liverpool fan. Yo, Liverpool fans are saying that. Somerville just showed Garnacho how a winger should be playing. Manchester United have won just 2 of their last 18 Premier League matches in London. That's a crazy stat, guys. That is a mental stat. Manchester United have won just 2 of their last 18 Premier League matches in London. I'm guessing that's all of the games under Erik ten Hag. And you know what is even funnier, guys? That is not even like we're playing 3 teams. That is how many teams. It's Brentford, it's Fulham, it's Chelsea, it's Crystal Palace, it's Arsenal, it's Spurs. That's 6 teams. 6 teams. If you don't laugh, you will cry. That's what I keep telling everyone. Like, I literally be messaging my friends, some of my relatives who are United fans, and I tell them, guys, if we don't laugh, we will cry. So everything that is happening just this season, just laugh about it, guys. Please just laugh about it, because that's the only way to keep your sanity. That is honestly the only way to keep your sanity. Big up to Riri with the big super chat, guys. W for Riri, man. I actually need to make an emoji for Riri. I promised her that I will. So Riri, you need to send me, what do you want, a crown? I don't know, man. Let me know what you want on your emoji. It says, congratulations, Mina, on your 7K on the road to 10K for your birthday. The grind don't stop just because United is shit. Facts. The grind don't stop, man. Big up to everyone. We hit 7K on Saturday, yesterday, alhamdulillah. 10K is the goal by February. So we need to hit 1K each month by then, which inshallah, God willing, we will be able to. Big up to Riri for the super chat. Let me see what you lot are saying in the comments. But before that, make sure you lot hit the like button. Hit the likes if you've just come through. You know the rules here. You come in, you say salam to everyone in the chat, and then you hit the like button. Simple as that. If you want to, you can send in a super chat, just like the others have done, with your comments, with your questions, with your thoughts, or just to show some love to the channel, the ever-growing channel. Make sure you lot follow me on all platforms. There you can see all my handles, because on Instagram, guys, I can actually announce it. Seeing as it's been a shit weekend, guys, I'm working with the one and only DAZN. Yes, DAZN. If you don't know DAZN, one of the biggest broadcasters, I am now working with them as a freelancer. So I still get to keep my opinion and all of that stuff. But I'll be creating content with them on a freelance basis across all their social platforms. Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all of that stuff. So if you don't want to see it, make sure you follow them on Instagram and follow me. If you follow me, it will come up on your feed automatically. I officially signed my contract this week, alhamdulillah. So I start this week. So make sure you lot follow me on Instagram, and you'll have to like the thing up in it. They need to see that the likes are liking so that they keep working with me. Do you guys get it? Do you guys get it? Make sure you guys keep at it. And I got another announcement coming as well midweek, inshallah. I'll make the announcement midweek. So, keep your eyes peeled. But I thought, you know what? We deserve some good news, because it's been a shit week. It's been actually a shit season. It's actually been a completely crap season. Mina is big time. Listen, I'm not big time. I wish I was big time. I'm still watching games on illegal stream stuff. Let me just. But yeah, big up to everyone, man. I appreciate the love. Antonio says, good game today. Antonio, let me know why you thought that was a good game, please. I want to hear your thoughts about why you thought that was a good game. I'd really want to know. What did we think about Rasmus Hojlund today, guys? What did we think about Rasmus Hojlund's performance today? I think, again, equally like Garnacho, he had a chance that fell to him in the first half. I don't know if you lot saw, he did a little quick footwork, some fancy footwork, and then just kicks it straight at the keeper. But he himself is in a falling kind of position. He's falling. Unimpactful, I could sum up his performance as. And that was in a game where Manchester United were, in the first half in particular, creating so many chances. They were creating so many chances. But you know what? Before we actually kind of get into all of the detail, for me, I have to talk about this, guys. I have to talk about this. Let me zoom out completely so we can get the bigger picture of it. Was this a penalty, guys? Was this a penalty? For me, I don't think personally this was a penalty. Not in a million years, I wouldn't have given this as a penalty. The fact for me, their explanation is even worse than the PGMO, whatever the hell they want to call themselves. Their explanation of it was as bad as possible. As it's even worse than the actual call. And you know what? I'm glad that the journalists who cover Manchester United were calling it out on Twitter. Like Laurie Whitwell, all of them were saying this is disgraceful. It's disgraceful to apply VAR in such fashion. And apparently Darren Fletcher was going crazy. And even after the game, he was basically saying it's a fucking joke. He literally said the F word, excuse my language, but he literally said the F word. Now, speaking after the game, of course, Eric Ten Hag is going to reference this stuff. Of course, he's going to reference it. He said, in football, it's not always the best team that wins. Today was clear and obvious. It wasn't how VAR should work. I'm not criticizing any one person. I'm criticizing the process. You have to show big personality to recall this decision, big impact on the score. Now, I want to know, I have to check, by the way, I need to double check exactly the process of the VAR call, because apparently obviously the referee was called to the screen, and it was Michael Oliver on VAR, by the way. It was Michael Oliver on VAR duty, and he was called, the referee was called over, and reportedly the referee did not award, this is PGMLO, P, ABCDEFG, whatever the hell their name is, yeah? The Premier League refereeing people, them, yeah? This was the reasoning that they gave as to why they gave the penalty. The referee, this is verbatim, guys, the referee did not award a penalty to West Ham for the challenge by Dalot on Ings. However, the VAR deemed there was sufficient contact on Danny Ings' lower leg and recommended an on-field review. The referee, so it's the referee who overturned his original decision, which was no penalty, and decided to award the penalty. So VAR didn't give the penalty. VAR just said, you might want to look at it because there's a bit of contact on Ings' leg. And the referee went and had a look at it and said, even though when he saw it in real time, he said it's not a penalty, he said, actually, forget what I said 2 seconds ago, I'm going to give it as a penalty. Now, he could have had the choice. I think the decision was solely in his hand. It was solely in the referee's hand because VAR just gave him a recommendation to look at it. It's not like that they couldn't come to a conclusion. They just said that they deemed that there was sufficient contact on his leg and recommended an on-field review. That's it. He could have chose to give it and not give it. And the referee decided to give it. It sounded like VAR told him to give it, to be honest. I think VAR just... I feel like VAR just told him to look at it. I don't think they told him to give it. But can I just say, guys, I was watching El Clasico yesterday, and I'm sure a lot of you guys were. Why is it that in Spain, VAR is like this? Like, there's no 5-6 minutes where everyone's just standing around like this. The momentum has kind of been sucked out of the game at that point. It seems like in the Premier League, they just take long to do that. A ref wasn't going to overrule a senior ref like Oliver. That's what a lot of people are insinuating as well. A lot of people are insinuating that the referee was, because it was Michael Oliver on VAR, the referee was never going to override what he said. But he was just told. Okay, so this is what the Athletic said. The Athletic said that VAR believed that there was sufficient contact on the lower legs to give a foul. The referee decided no infringement in real time, but Michael Oliver ordered him to the touchline screen, and inevitably the official pointed to the spot. So are people trying to suggest that just because he was told by Michael Oliver to go and look at it on the screen, that he can't override what Oliver may or may not have said? I don't know, but you look at that in any way you want. You can look at it in slow motion. You can look at it in different angles, whatever. It's not a penalty. It's not a penalty. And furthermore, before this even happened, guys, if you guys remember, they didn't even look at the handball on him. They didn't look at the handball on Danny Ings before they looked at this. So even when they decided to give this, they didn't even say, you know what, there was a handball just before that. Let's have a look at that. And they just went with it. Mr. Days when pens would be given for preventing goal-scoring opportunities. The culture is too nice in this country when it comes to affecting change. Let referees do this in Italy, France, Spain. Do you think they'd sit by, do anything? I think in Spain and the fan culture is different to what it is in the UK. I think the PL likes the dramatics for TV entertainment. I feel like officials, VAR officials, referees, they try too hard to be main characters in a game. Like, I like watching Champions League games where the refs don't want to like be the topic of discussion after the game. They don't want to be the person that took the sting out of the game. They don't want to be the person that took the competitiveness out of the game. They just, they let the game run, and when they need to, they'll stop the game. They'll give out free kicks, etc. But they don't. I feel like in the Premier League, these lot are obsessed with their whistle. Like, they just want to blow the whistle non-stop. You can watch the big games. You can watch the Man United. Okay, let me not say Man United. You can watch the big games like City versus Liverpool or City versus Arsenal, whatever. And the refs always have some sort of main character syndrome where they have to make a big call just to be on the front pages of all the articles where everyone's talking about the referees. It's so annoying. It is actually so annoying. Ridwan says, I don't even care who starts or who's on the bench anymore. Nothing works under this manager anymore. Let's actually get to that. Referees in the Prem have main character syndrome. They absolutely do have 100%. They got main character syndrome, and for me, it's not even a doubt. I think Dalot was quite heavy done. I actually think Dalot was quite heavy done with that. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about the manager. Let's talk about the manager or the coaching staff or just everything that kind of happened today. Manchester United's record in the last, 8 games? Draw, loss. Draw, win. Draw, loss. That is Manchester United's record, by the way. Manchester United also, Man United have failed to score a first half goal in 8 of their 9 Premier League games. Imagine that. Wait, hold it. In 8 of their 9 games. So in the last 9 games, Man United have failed to score in the first half. It's ridiculous. It's actually ridiculous. What do you think happens with Erik ten Hag, guys? What does time look like for Erik ten Hag? Because we've got Leicester on Wednesday. We got Chelsea next week. Cole Palmer again putting in a good performance. Nicholas Jackson getting on the score sheet. What is on the horizon for Erik ten Hag? Because this is bad, guys. Like, I actually can't fathom that Erik ten Hag still finds himself in a job. And that's not me saying that it's his fault today. Because today, those players need to put the ball in the back of the net in the first half. United should have been like 2-3-0 up at the minimum. But equally so, taking everything into consideration the last 18 to 20 months, I can't understand how Erik ten Hag still finds himself in a role as a coach. I don't get it. I'm really looking at INEOS right now with some serious anger, frustration, if you want to say that, because it's not just the manner in which Manchester United kind of lose. It's how long it's been going on for, guys. Man United have gotten progressively worse in the last 12 months. Since this time last year and where Man United are, they have gotten progressively worse, in my opinion. And the reason why I'm saying that is because it's another 200 million spent in a summer transfer window. And on top of that, you would expect slight improvement from last season. Given how bad last season was, I didn't think it could possibly get worse. I didn't think that. I'm not gonna lie. I thought last season was like the bottom. That was United couldn't get any lower than that. And I actually think United have gotten more lower than that. Firstly, we're 14th place. We are in 14th place in the Premier League. Is that the worst start that Manchester United have had post Sir Alex Ferguson, guys? Is that I actually think, because I don't remember it being this bad. I actually, and if you lot can tell me that I have selective memory, please let me know. Because I don't ever remember it being this bad under a manager by October-ish. Since Sir Alex Ferguson retired. I'm talking Van Gaal, I'm talking Mourinho. And it's not just that, guys. We've lost 4 games out of 7 this season in the Premier League. Out of 9, sorry. Not 7. Out of 9, we've lost 4. It's never been bad. Yeah, it's never been this bad. Yeah, I actually don't think, it's actually, and the worst thing is, there you go. Here you go. Leo says it. The harsh part is this wasn't even an extreme run of games for you guys. Guys, it gets worse in December. That's what I think. If this is what it is like right now, ya Allah, I don't even want to know what December is going to be like. I don't even want to know what December is going to be like. because the amount Man United, I think, have 9 games in December. December is always a congested time. I mean, they're playing like every 3 days in the Premier League, and then there's obviously Europa League as well. So it's always tends to be a congested time period. But if they're playing like this right now, I don't know what it's going to be like in December. And you know what? Part of me doesn't want to know. I might stop watching them by then. You know what? I might rebrand my channel, guys. What should I rebrand into? What should I rebrand? Should I rebrand into like a cooking channel or something? Should I rebrand into like I could do reviews of like shoes that I buy. That could be cool. That could be cool. Or I could do like reaction videos where I like react to TV shows. It has to be the worst start. 11 points from 27 is disgusting. It's not even half. It's not even half. I think that's what makes it as bad. Man like Chris Wood has 1 less goal than Man United. Facts. You know, that's so funny. That is so. It's so. How many goals United got this season? United got 8 goals. United got 8 goals. I'm telling you, look, if you don't laugh, guys, you will cry. Wallahi, if you don't laugh, you will actually cry. I honestly think we should continue back in Ten Hag until he goes. Just a moment of silence there. Just a moment of silence. And Buemo has 8. Bruno Hamza says, let's be honest, we shouldn't have been talking about VAR. We have to understand our situation by now. Our problem is the coach. That's all. Because talking about VAR is not on our side, especially like Arsenal games. Yeah, I think obviously emphasizing on the VAR thing, there's so many other things that we can talk about outside of VAR. But VAR did kind of impact the game today. OJ says we're screwed in December, and the saddest part is it doesn't even seem like it's getting better. It's like being in a car crash. You see the crash coming and you can't do anything about it. Yeah, that's literally that is the best way to describe it. It's like seeing a car crash happening, like as a pedestrian, and you can't do anything about it. You can see what's about to happen. Is this how Superman felt whenever he knew like there was some like bad guy on the horizon in the city, but he could do something about it? Superman could always do something about it. So maybe that's a bad example. Maybe that's a bad example. Zayn Miasi, cash money. Listen, Zayn, I always say it, man. If you're gonna put your money where your mouth is, send in £100 super chat if you want to talk shit. Says 14th in the league. Did you see our masterpiece? I mean, a draw at home when you were winning. Let me not talk too much. I'm tired of just the blame the manager or blame the players. Everyone stinks. This is probably the most annoying narrative. And you know what, Ed? I 100% agree. I spoke about it in my video as well. Why does it have to be one or the other? Why can't it be both? Because I said in my video, I said this is all on INEOS. It's on the manager. It's on the players. It's on anybody who has had an involvement in the season thus far. That's where all my criticisms wait. That's where all my criticisms are. Like, honestly, I'm looking at everyone right now and I'm saying, you got a part to play. You got a part to play. You got a part to play as well. Why does it have to be on the manager for people who are pro players, and why does it have to be on the players for people who are pro manager? Why can't both be true? Because both is true. The players are missing chances that they should easily be slotting away. But equally, I could say that, are they low on confidence? And why are they low on confidence? And then I could look at it and say, well, you know what? Erik Ten Hag cannot physically come on the pitch and put the ball in the back of the net. He can't. I don't think he's allowed to suit up. Ruud van Nistelrooy can't either. However, when West Ham's manager makes changes in the second half to kind of nullify the momentum that Manchester United had, Erik Ten Hag needs to counter that. And there's been far too many times, not just this season, but even last season, the latter stages of Erik Ten Hag's first season, when a manager makes a tactical change halfway through the game, Erik Ten Hag would never counter it. And that's where my questions lie with the manager in a game like today. Erik Ten Hag is not responsible for VAR giving away a penalty. Erik Ten Hag is not responsible for that. Erik Ten Hag is not responsible for Nazir Mazraoui getting injured. He's not responsible for that in the game. However, he is responsible for his inability to nullify the impactful changes that the opponent manager has done. That's what I question him about. Sometimes bad games happen, says Redwan. It happens way too much this season. I pray that that's where I draw the line. That's where I draw the line. INEOS have to do something. They're looking weak as new owners. I don't know how INEOS kind of look at all of this and just think, you know what? We ain't gonna do nothing yet. Well, it's like looking at your house burning down, yeah. Like, God forbid anyone ever has to experience a house fire, yeah. But it's like looking at your house in front of you, burning down. You got a fire extinguisher next to you. You're like, nah, let me see how bad the fire gets. The fire might put itself out. The fire might put itself out. You know what? Water might just start sprinkling from the sky, and it might put the fire out. But you got a fire extinguisher right next to you. Just get up and flipping spray that fire. Then get that fire out. That's the best way I can summarize how INEOS look to many fans when it comes to this. Are they waiting to see if the problems fix itself? Are they waiting to see if the manager finds a solution for the problems that are kind of on show right now? Or are they just hoping things get better? Or I could flip that and say, do they have their solution in mind, but they're just waiting for kind of the right time to trigger it? Because for me, there's no right time. The right time has passed. The right time has passed to trigger a change in the manager. Because I don't know how anyone can look at being 14th place, 9 games into the season, sitting on 11 points. We're barely just about on double-digit points, yeah? I don't know how people look at it and think, you know what? It's going to get better. It's got to get better. Let's talk about Man United's inability to score. Let's look at this. You lot know I hate XG. Big up to the Athletic, because they always drop some great kind of graphics after Manchester United. Man United since this is since the beginning of the Premier League era, guys. 1992 to 1993. Yeah, the number of goals Manchester United have scored after 9 games of each Premier League season. 04-05 was the worst. After 9 games, United scored 9 goals. So technically, Erik ten Hag has broken another record, technically speaking. And 04-05, guys, if you don't remember that season, that was a difficult one. That was a difficult season. But since the Premier League's inception, yeah, that's 92-93, Manchester United have not broken double digits in 9 games twice, which means since Sir Alex Ferguson was the manager, and he was the manager for 20-something years, Man United only scored less than double-digit goals after 9 games once. Erik ten Hag has done it in his 3rd season. Is that not a big question mark? Is that not? And again, we could say who's to blame there? Who's to blame for Man United's inability to score? Because again, we could talk about XG. We could talk about XG. We could talk about, chances created. But when Manchester United miss 85% of their big chances, yet those same players get the call up to play a full 90 minutes, then I'm looking at the manager thinking, your decision making is a bit questionable. I actually don't think, guys. Let me pull up this picture here. I actually don't think Erik ten Hag has the cojones to pull off certain players off the pitch. I don't think he's got it in him. Like that ruthlessness. I don't think he's got that ruthlessness in him. I don't know what it is. Sometimes I think he is like, I do get the vibe that he's a stubborn guy. I do get the vibe that he thinks that he knows what's right. But I also don't think he's ruthless enough. Like a Maresca, a guy who's in his 1st season. Yeah. Arne Slot, who we've seen hook players. Yeah. We've seen him do that. I don't think Erik ten Hag has that capability to hook a player off when they're having a crap performance and make an example of them. But yet, and I don't know how, I really don't know. Let me bring it up. What did you guys think about Marcus Rashford coming off? What did you guys think about Marcus Rashford coming off? Because personally, I'm looking at Marcus Rashford over the last a month or so, since he's been experimented with Marcus Rashford on the right-hand side. I don't like it. I don't like Marcus Rashford as a right winger. And I've said this time and time again. For me, you play your best players in their, you play players in their strongest positions. Marcus Rashford was taken off midweek. And I thought it was because Erik ten Hag would say he's saving him for the weekend. He took him off at the 58th minute today. 58. I was happy to see Ahmed come on. I'm not going to lie. I was glad to see Ahmed come on. But I don't know how Erik ten Hag looked at Garnacho again and thought 90 minutes for you again. I just don't understand. I look at that front line for Manchester United: Garnacho, Hojlund, Rashford, Ahmad, Xerxes. Marcus Rashford is the most experienced out of all of them, right? He's the most experienced out of all of them. So you'd expect out of all your frontline players to play your most experienced player in the position that they are best at. I like Garnacho on the right. I like him on the left. I like him on both sides. But I don't think over the last couple of games, this left-hand side, he's been finishing his chances well enough. I really don't think so. I really, really don't think so. Erik ten Hag and the players are the same. Players shoot instead of passing, miss open nets. Erik ten Hag takes Rashi off instead of Garnacho. Ugarte on the bench while Eriksen is tired. Collectively, we are crap. Show says Hojlund is a squad-level striker for a big team, but we keep expecting him to rise. He's not that guy, but we spend 70 million on him and forcing him to be the guy. I don't know how Hojlund's being the fall guy for all of this. Because even with Hojlund, he's a guy that's not even getting a consistent run of games. Like you're taking him in and out of the lineup. Erik ten Hag takes him in and out of the starting lineup. 1 minute he starts, next minute he doesn't. For me, the person that I kind of have the biggest question mark about is Ugarte. That's the question mark for me that I have about why he doesn't start. Because this notion that he's not ready for the Premier League I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. Now, Casemiro, can't fault him today. I cannot fault him today. I could, but for me, he was Man United's best player. Let's put it like that. But I also think Casemiro is much better with less defensive responsibility. And when you get him more advanced in the pitch. Now, of course, Christian Eriksen, Erik ten Hag is going to play him. The guy's got like 8-9 goal involvements. I think or even more than that so far this season for Manchester United in all competitions. Bruno Fernandes, another guy. Actually, I didn't even get the chance to talk about Bruno because there was something wallahi that I actually was about to dash my iPad when he did this. First half, I think Bruno couldn't put a foot wrong. I really think he really played like Bruno of the past. Yeah? Created chances. He had that one chance at goal where he heads it over the bar. Great run. Casemiro picks him out. But the first half, I thought he was really good in possession. He was neat. He was tidy. He was making the right passes, making the right calls, dropping deep to get involved. But you know what pissed me off with Bruno? And this is how I sum up Bruno Fernandes for Manchester United. Chasing a goal in extra time, edge of the box, and you hoof it. You decide to go for goal when near enough to Manchester United's entire starting 11, near enough most of them, are in the box. Rather than for you to just play it out wide and let them put a ball back in, you go for goal again. And we've seen that so many times this season. The final kick of the game, near enough for, I think it was practically the final kick of the game, and you decide to do that. And something like that, for me, I understand the passion side of it, right? I get the passion side of it, but I'm not going to be a passion merchant and be like, oh, he loves the team. He just wants them to win. He's trying to carry them on his back. Sometimes you got to make the right decisions. And this is why I say Man United lack composure. Their players lack confidence and they lack composure. That's the only way I can explain why United had 5 or 6 chances at goal in the first half and they couldn't put it away. Lack of confidence and a lack of composure. And all of that comes from the last how many games and how Manchester United have been struggling this season. Man United have been unable to win a number of games in a row. They haven't been able to do that. Manchester United have been unable to score consistently for a run of games. They haven't been able to do that. So, excuse me, every time these players get in front of goal, no composure, no confidence. None of that. And I don't know who to blame at that point. I actually don't know who to blame at that point. Do I blame the players who are in this crap system? Or do I blame the manager who has created this crap system? Who is to blame? You know, sometimes as fans, I think we just look for someone to blame. I feel like we look for someone to blame, and that's fine. But I'm looking around like, I don't even know who to blame. I want to blame all of you. I want to blame every single one of you, except for Kathy that works at the reception at Carrington. I want to blame every single one of you. Shooting from so far out and scuffing it makes him look awful. Why does he do this? The thing is, right, I wouldn't even had a peep to say about Bruno after the game if it wasn't for that. I would have said, you know what, Bruno was actually pretty decent. But it's just a moment like that, like I said, it can change the tide. Manchester United could have had one more attack And we would never know. Of course, it's just if buts maybes. We would have never known what would have come from that moment. But thanks to Bruno, we ain't never gonna know. Exactly, our decision making in pressure situations is horrible, including the manager. Nadir says the manager easily is 3 years. It's year 3, and we haven't seen consistent style of play this entire time. Chalaboy says the lack of composure is a squad building issue. We need more cool heads in our team. Show says when you see the way Bruno behaves on the pitch, does it give you captain vibes? Someone who the other players look up to? No, you know, some today, for example, I was obviously watching the game. And I was like, this guy moans a lot. And I know a lot of opponents here, like the opposing players, don't like Bruno for this reason. But I was just thinking, a game today, like, I just don't want anyone complaining. Just get up. Just get up. And maybe it's because my patience is wearing very, very thin for pretty much everybody involved right now. My patience is really thin right now. But he moans so much. Like, and sometimes it's valid because, again, he gets clipped, he gets knocked down, etc. Okay, but sometimes I feel like there's a time and place for it. And not in the first half, I feel like Man United were so reliant on building the momentum. I felt like that goal could have come because they built up the momentum to get that goal. But in the end, it never really happened. For someone who speaks so highly of continuity, contradicts himself so much. Where's the continuity when you're making such poor managerial decisions? I think that is in reference to Erik ten Hag. OJ also says, I've never seen Erik ten Hag counter a change or tactical tweak another manager has made in the game. Maybe I'm reaching, but it's as if our plan B is plan A. And when plan A is countered, we're screwed. I think that's what a lot of... I remember the Ajax guys, the We Talk Ajax guys on UV, sorry. They said Erik ten Hag has one plan, and he sticks to that plan, game in, game out. So you guys gotta be willing to accept that. And I think I identified it. I can't lie. In his first couple of months, I remember Chelsea. I think it was Potter made a change in like the 30-something minute. Nothing. Erik ten Hag didn't counter it. And from that day on, I thought, I'm going to always keep an eye out to see what the opposing manager does. And there's so many examples of tactical tweaks in game that can happen or has happened over the last 18 to 20 months that Erik ten Hag never counters. Because for him, and Erik ten Hag, can I say, mentioned it after the game, guys, against Fenerbahce. He said, after the game for Fenerbahce, our tactics were perfect. It was right. So for him, I think it's always it's right. Everything, what he does is correct. It's perfect. It's the players unable to implement it. That's it. I genuinely think that's how he sees the game. I'm going to see what Erik ten Hag did say after the game. But he said, obviously he talked a lot about the officiating. He said, I think we played a very good football game. The first hour, it was really enjoyable to watch our team. So dynamic, so much variation, so creative, so many chances. And that is the only thing we miss, killing in front of goal. He then went on to say, before the season, we got clear instructions about how they run the process. He's talking about VAR. And it was only that they interfere, when it's clear and obvious. So apparently that's what they were told before. He also spoke about the players and he said, I feel really compassionate for my players. They played so well. They fight so hard together. They are so determined to come into these moments, and to not kill them with goals is very frustrating. At least he's accepting that Manchester United did kind of dominate the first half. But this is my question to you guys. Are you guys happy with Man United dominating for certain passages of the game? Because I realized today Man United have not dominated for 90 minutes in a game this season except for Barnsley. And I'm tired of this idea that, you know, oh, we dominated the first half, or oh, we dominated the second half, or the first 20 minutes, oh, we were good. Oh, you know, the 60 to 80 minutes we were good. Why can Manchester United not be good for 90 minutes of the game? Like, why is it that we have to play the game in intervals? And we participate for one interval of the game, and the other interval, we're just there as freeloaders. That's it. I'm not happy with that. And that's probably one of the biggest things that I'm unhappy about this season. My biggest problem is that it's not 90-minute game. Like, you would think Manchester United play basketball. Basketball, 48 minutes. It's 48 minutes. You would think Manchester United played basketball because they only play for 48 minutes or less. They don't play consistently across the 90-minute game. And for me, that's not good enough. That not only is that not good enough, that's not sustainable. Because if you're dominating the first half, then you allow the team to grow back into the game in the second half. You're going to end up drawing or you're going to end up losing most of the time. Or you're going to find yourself in a position where you're chasing a game. And Manchester United always find themselves in that position. They are chasing a game. It doesn't matter if Man United go up in the first half, if they're winning by 1 or 2 goals. Somehow Manchester United under Erik ten Hag always find themselves chasing a game. And for me, that's not sustainable in the slightest. And I know people talk about the idea or the notion of sustainable football under Erik ten Hag or building something that's sustainable. But it's not just about building something sustainable. For me, it's about building something that realistically is going to work game in, game out. And if it's not going to work game in, game out, then you can alter it and change it so that it works. I think Erik ten Hag's system, and I've said this time and time again, it needs near enough to perfection. It needs near enough to perfection for it to work. But even then, I don't think it's perfection for 90 minutes. I think Erik ten Hag's system was made, or he likes his system, to be able to have passages of the game that the system is on, clear show. And for me, that's not realistic. That's not realistic, because then you're just there to participate for 20 minutes of the game, and then the rest of the 70 minutes, you're probably trying to stop yourselves from conceding a goal, or you're trying to claw yourselves back into the game. That's how I feel most of the time. You're never going to dominate for 90 minutes, but we never weather the storm. I don't expect United to dominate for 90 minutes, but I also don't expect them to throw away the second half. I'm not saying United need to come out and be good for a whole 90 minutes, because really, how likely is it that's going to be United who are in a process? That's not really likely. But what I do expect is for United to be competing for 90 minutes. That's what I expect. I expect United to, at least for most of the 90 minutes, to be the better team. Am I asking for too much? The key to game management over 90 minutes is capitalizing on our phases of momentum. Game state determines energy distribution and intensity. We keep failing in this aspect. 100%. I totally agree with you, Chala. Show says our league form since the Carabao Cup final shows us to be a mid-table team, so it shouldn't be a surprise anymore. I guess this is why I look at INEOS. Because I'm like, Erik ten Hag has fully made Manchester United look like a mid-table team. Like, for me, there's no doubt about it. But how are INEOS okay with that? How have INEOS become okay with Manchester United looking like a mid-table team? I just don't get how that's acceptable, or how that's become the new norm. Excuses, no plan B. If Anthony didn't get injured, Ahmad wouldn't have played. Same starters, same sub timings, no tactics, no tactical moments to adjust to the opponent's changes. I think King kind of touched on pretty much all the points. Like, I think, again, I agree. If Anthony never got injured, we might not have seen Ahmad play. But equally so, I think it's very clear as day. I think Ten Hag has his favourites, guys. I think Erik ten Hag has his favourites. I think, people, Ahmad, Xerxes, Ugarte, they're not his portion. And I think it's clear as day. I don't know if anybody agrees with me, but really, I'm looking at INEOS, guys. I'm honestly looking at INEOS, and I'm like, when are you going to pull the plug? When are you going to pull the plug on this? Because I still feel like, do you think the season is salvageable, guys? Man United find themselves in 14th place. Man United find themselves in 14th place, yeah? 11 points. If Erik ten Hag gets sacked today, tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock, yeah? We wake up to Comunicado official, yeah? Erik ten Hag has parted ways with Manchester United. Do you think the season would still be salvageable if United have an interim and just see how it goes and then appoint a new manager at the end of the season? Or do you see Erik ten Hag changing his tune and turning the tide? Because I actually think it's more likely, I'll be so honest, I think it's more likely for the sun to rise from the other side than for Erik ten Hag to change the season, to change Manchester United's trajectory of their season. I do not see Erik ten Hag changing what is essentially, I think, is just written. It's qadar, it's written for us at this point. I don't think he's going to change it. I think with Europa League, United are 21st out of 24, with a fairly reasonably easy run of games on the horizon that they should win. But I don't know if it's Ten Hag that's going to be the one to win those games. Like, I just don't know. And if we do win it, I don't think we're going to win it in a convincing fashion. And those kind of games, I'm not going to lie, they might be the kind of games where you just need to win. It don't matter how you do it, you just need to win. But we're looking ahead now, and we've got Leicester midweek in the Carabao Cup, in the League Cup. And then we've got Chelsea next Sunday. That is spooky. That game there is very, very spooky. I think with Ten Hag, it's about trust. I think he's now giving people time he trusts because he's in survival mode. The people you trust are not necessarily going to be the ones that are going to get you through it. They're not necessarily going to be the one that gets you through it. INEOS is done with this manager, Mina. We know this. Are they? Are they really? I don't think they are. I think with INEOS, I'm not going to lie. I think with Umar Barada and Dan Ashworth and that, I think it's very easy for them to put the blame on Dave Brailsford, Sir Jim Ratcliffe, because they made the decision to keep Erik Ten Hag before they came into their roles. INEOS, and I'm speaking specifically about Sir Jim Ratcliffe, talks about this idea of having the best in class, the best of every, like, you're going to have the best manager, the best executives, the best players, the best English talents, the best up-and-coming talents, all of this best stuff. But are they really going to stick to it? Because they made a decision, for me, that they shouldn't have, because they are not the football minds. Brailsford, Jean-Claude Blanc, Jim Ratcliffe, they are not the football minds that they were trying to put in place. They brought in Barada and Ashworth. They should have waited for them to come into their roles before they make the decision. And Barada, can I say, even in their interview, Barada and Ashworth did an interview before the Liverpool game with The Athletic. And they were asked about, did you, are you've publicly backed Ten Hag by, appointing him or keeping him. And they said the decision to keep him was made before we came into our role. Simple as that. They distanced themselves from that decision because that decision kind of, I think, it might have just put United's season in the bin. Because that decision was also, I think, made off of emotion, i.e. the FA Cup win. I think Erik Ten Hag, he's done what he can do with the team. And there's no harm in saying he might have reached his final form with this team and he can't take them any further. I think there's no harm in saying that. I really, really think there's no harm in saying that. There is no kind of disagreement that what Erik Ten Hag did at Ajax was good. There's no disagreement. I don't think there's disagreement, but there is also levels to playing in the Eredivisie and playing in the Premier League. There's levels to this. There's more eyes on you in the Premier League. Not only that, I think if Erik Ten Hag was a manager of like Brighton or Fulham or something, he would have slipped a lot more under the radar for this kind of start to a season. But you're not at those clubs. You are at Manchester United. So the lights, where's the lights? Where the lights are on very, very bright when you're at Manchester. Literally, like, it's on you like this. Yeah, it's on you like that. And I just think we just need to have an honest conversation about it. We've kind of put the emotion to the side and use logic, yeah, and use the facts that are in front of us. I don't think Erik Ten Hag's a bad manager. I've said this before, but I think he's taken Manchester United as far as he possibly can. And there's nothing wrong with accepting that or saying that, because football is about cycles and managing. Like Erik Ten Hag said it himself. It's about errors. Errors come to an end. This might be the end of his era. The thing Brailsford has is his transformation of Team Sky and Team GB. It needs to translate to football now. I'm not going to lie. I don't know enough about cycling to say that Dave Brailsford kind of turned it around and made such an amazing transformation with Team Sky. I'm not going to lie. I can't say that because I don't really know anything about cycling. But what I do know is that, Nice are 8th in their league. And they are also, 32nd in the Europa League. Man United are 14th in their league. And they're 21st in the Europa League. So if I'm just going off of INEOS and football, it don't look good. It does not look good. I know, Mina, I just think he fears they won't give their all for him. Therefore, he plays the players he trusts that give their all. Fair enough. He's just a placeholder. I don't know about that. It's salvageable with a new manager. There's too much water under the bridge. He can't turn it around, and it's clear to see. No man management. Ahmad Zexi Ugarte you may not favour, but considering the injury excuses last season, wouldn't man management and communication help you with these players when in need? That's a very strong point. That's a very, very strong point. Has Slot only ever managed in the Netherlands? What was he like before? Or has he come into Liverpool and inherited an already decent side? Well, he's changed. I feel like Liverpool don't play the same way under Slot that they did under Klopp. And to get players to buy into your style of football, you have to have a level of man management there. You have to have a level of personality there. So I don't think I think Arne Slot has a lot more character and personality than Erik ten Hag does. Unfortunately, I think, and I said this like last week on a stream. I was saying that is being a coach, or is, you know, when you're in a job, it's not solely about your ability to apply what you know, but it's also about your personality, your likability, you know, your ability to build relationships with other people, etc., etc. Since 2013, Real Madrid 7 managers, 26 trophies won. Bayern Munich 8 managers, 22 trophies won. Barcelona 7 managers, 16 trophies won. Sacking is normal. The manager is an infallible finito. The funny thing is, I seen United fans laughing at Barcelona. I've seen them laughing at Barcelona over the last couple of years, especially with their whole levers and, you know, bankruptcy and their financial issues, all of that kind of stuff. The same manager that some people turned their nose up, yeah? They turned their nose up at Hansi Flick. They just annihilated Real Madrid in their house. They came to Real Madrid's house and slept in their bed, ate the food in their cupboard, and they flipping put their feet up on the sofa and watched TV. That's literally what they did. But that's the same manager, can I say, Hansi Flick, that people said, well, what did he do at Bayern Munich? What's the difference between what he did at Bayern Munich and what Erik ten Hag did in the Eredivisie with Ajax? That's it. What a joke. They made Mbappe look like a real Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, guys. He actually looked like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle that didn't know how to play football. Hansi Flick, people turn their noses at. Even the Zerbi, people turn their noses at. How good are Marseille right now in the French league? They're actually playing right now as well. I think they're playing right now against PSG. Let's see where they are. They're 3rd in the league. Yeah, they're 3 points off top. Today, if they beat PSG, they go level. They go level with PSG. I don't know where we go from here, to be honest. What is enough for Erik ten Hag to get sacked? I don't know what's enough to get Erik ten Hag sacked. I don't. I think he has to do a Jamie Carragher and spit on someone. Because I can't look at... I shouldn't even make jokes about that. That's not even funny. But I do not know what he could possibly do worse than what he's done over the last 18 or so months, 20 months, if you want to go, since the Carabao Cup. I do not know what he could possibly do worse, yeah, than what is already on show to us right now. And that's why I said I'm looking at INEOS sideways. I'm looking at INEOS with question mark on them, because I don't know how they can sit and watch this and think, you know what, we're giving it till the end of the season. That's a joke. That isn't, my guys. I don't know. I don't think we're fully deep in it. Like, for me, I don't think we're fully deep in it. Man United are 14th place after 9 games. I'm not joking, yeah. If this was Chelsea last season, or, you know, with Poch, I think actually the scrutiny wouldn't be that bad, because I think Chelsea's system with Todd Bowley and that was under a lot more scrutiny than it was the coach. So let me not use Chelsea as an example. But what I will use Chelsea as an example, they let a manager come in this season who they kind of backed. They put their chips behind him fully and said, you know what, we're going to back you. And they let him make the calls that he needed to do. Yeah? And that paid off, because Chelsea, are playing well. And also they've got a heap of players. But INEOS are legit, like, tomorrow, guys, it's going to be long. I'm going to do Daily Dose of Mina tomorrow, 4:30 UK time, as always. But I just know 9 o'clock we're going to wake up. Well, not wake up at 9 o'clock, but 9 o'clock there's going to be so much news that just comes leaking out. Different Chris Wheeler, flipping Samuel Luckhurst. Oh, INEOS are not happy with this. Oh, INEOS are in private talks with this person. Oh, they're, you know, the manager. It's a must-win game. Chelsea is a must. It's going to be the same shit again. It's going to be the same crap again. Chelsea sacked Poch at 6th. Exactly. How will we sign new players next season if our project is failing? Ambitious players won't come to this shit. I'm seeing us linked to people like Alphonso Davies, guys. And I just laughed. When I saw that link last week about Alphonso Davies and Manchester United, I laughed, because Real Madrid want him as well. Do you think if Man United finish in the bottom half of the table, Alphonso Davies would even want to touch Manchester United with a barge pole? Of course not. Of course not. Man United better go start shopping in the, excuse my language, sorry, but we might as well start shopping in the Qatari Star League. We might as well go sign Akram Afif from the Qatari League, because that might become our level under Erik ten Hag. And that shouldn't be the case. And can I just say, I cannot believe that it's normal. Like, this is like, people are accepting this like this is normality, and like it's acceptable. And then if you question it, people will counter your kind of questions by saying, oh, but United have been shit for 10 years. United have been shit, but they've never been this shit. United have been bad, but they've never been this bad. So why should we just accept it? Or why should we just let it be? Jose Mourinho, I don't think Jose Mourinho's, like, towards the end of his time at United, it was this bad. I don't feel like it was this bad. I feel like it was just toxic. Like, it was toxic. But I don't think the performances was this bad, to a point where we're going into games and we're predicting a loss against West Ham. Fans are saying we're going to lose. Oh my God. There must be a reason why he didn't get the Spurs job, reason why he didn't get the Bayern Munich job after Pep. And let's be real, Ajax is a youth academy for the European elite teams to pick players from. A decision will likely be made around the Christmas period on whether we keep him or not. That cluster of games is not one you would want to have a losing run of. I don't even think it should, like, I don't even think this run of games should be a run of games where you should be okay with losing. Like, I don't think that should be the case either. The run of games that United have in December are crazy. Like, it's outrageous, the run of games that they've got coming up. It is really, really outrageous. But equally, with saying that, it shouldn't be the case that we wait to see how it goes in December. Cut our losses now. Performances just haven't been it. It's as simple as that. Yeah, I think that's the best way to perform, to kind of put it. Just cut our losses just there and then. You know what my jumper says, guys? Can you read my jumper? Can you read my jumper? It says, make someone smile today. Because Man United ain't going to make you smile. So if you don't know anyone that's a United fan, make sure you make them smile. Because I know damn well that they're probably going through it. Because I'm going through it. You're going through it. We're all going through it right now. And tomorrow I can't even wake up and, stretch my arms, jump out of bed and be happy. Because that's how I feel when United get 3 points. I can't even do that. And the worst thing is, I have to wake up tomorrow knowing that there's another game in 2 days' time. If you want to keep torturing me like this, Man United, just, I don't know what you want to achieve. I said this, guys, if I was a CIA, if I worked for FBI, my form of torture would be to make people watch Man United under Erik ten Hag. I would sellotape their eyes open. I wouldn't even do like waterboarding when they do all of that. I wouldn't even do that stuff. I would make you watch a Manchester United 90-minute game, sellotape your eyes open. That would be my form of torture, because that's how it feels right now. That's how it feels right now. Every game that we're going, I've given away tickets, to 2 games so far in the last 4 weeks, because I don't want to go. I don't want to go. Every time I go this season, we lose, or we just have a crap performance. We just have a crap performance. But big up to everyone listening, guys. Be sure to hit the like button and be sure to subscribe if you are watching this back as well. Big up to everyone that came through for the stream. What do we have coming on the horizon this week? We have Daily Dose of Mina, of course, every single day, starting with tomorrow as well. We'll have some watch-alongs in the week as well. I might do a watch-along on Friday because it's Al Nassr versus Al Hilal, which is 2 big games in the Saudi League. So I might do a watch-along for that. Let me know if you are interested in that. What else? We got, obviously, a preview game. Oh, my God. We're playing on Wednesday, so we're going to do a preview stream. I don't want to do that, guys. I don't want to do that. But you know what I'm going to do this week? I'm going to do EAFC 25. We're going to do EAFC 25. We're going to do Make United Great Again because we need it. We actually need it. But big up to everyone. Listen, be sure to follow me on all platforms. You can find my socials there or in the description of the video as well. And we'll be back tomorrow, inshallah, 4:30 p.m. UK time for Daily Dose of Mina. Big up to everyone that came through for the stream, got involved in the comments, sent in super chats, liked, subscribed, etc., etc. I appreciate the support, man, guys. Like I said, if you don't laugh, you'll cry. So let's just all laugh, because that's all we can do. I'm out, guys. I hope you have a wonderful evening. Peace.